I've got 4 key tips for you guys. Why did I just put 5 up?
I know. I was like,
Hey guys, it's Lauren from Style Story here, and I thought it'd be fun today to talk about some of the really common K-beauty beginner mistakes to avoid. So these are mistakes that I have made myself, and I'm sure plenty of other people have made. So I just thought I'd introduce you to 4 really simple tips that will help you on your K-beauty journey. So the first one is to plan your product purchases in advance. Now, I am so guilty of not doing this myself, but it can be really, really common when you start out with Korean beauty. You see all of these products, they all look amazing, and you want to basically just try everything all at once. So it can be really tempting to just put everything in your cart, buy everything, and then just throw it all on your face and hope for the best. So my suggestion to you guys would be, even if you do buy the products all in one go, maybe to save on shipping or something like that, to plan when you're going to introduce them into your skincare routine. Now, a really good way to do this is to replace a K-beauty product with an old product that you're currently using in your routine when it runs out. So for example, say you're using a toner in your skincare routine. Once you finish using that all up, you can swap the old toner for a Korean beauty toner. That's a really good way to slowly and gently introduce your skin to some new products. And that goes on to my second tip, which is not to throw everything onto your face at once. So if you've just bought all of these new skincare products, probably one of the worst things that you can do is try and use all these different new things at once. And the reason being is that it's just can burn the skin, and your skin can totally flip out. And if you do that and your skin has a bad reaction, you're not actually going to be able to pinpoint which product has caused the problem. So you might have introduced 12 new products to your skin, and it's just one product or one ingredient or something like that that doesn't quite agree with you. But if you've just put 12 new products onto your face, you'll not be able to know which one is not working for you. And it really pains me to hear when people have introduced some new products into their routine and then they go, oh, K-beauty's not for me, or those products, they're bad products, when often it could have been a much different result if they just introduced one new product at a time. That way, if your skin has a bad reaction to something, you'll be able to tell, oh, it was that product because nothing else in my routine has changed. So the best thing to do is to replace old with new, and then also give your skin a proper period of time to actually adjust to the product. Like ideally 2 to 4 weeks, but I know that can be really hard to wait that long. So patch testing is another really, really good way to check if you're gonna have a bad reaction to a product. And this is a really good tip for people like me that have sensitive skin. So actually test it out first on a patch of skin. You might even want to test it on your wrist, then test it on your neck, and then test it on somewhere that's, not your whole face, because if you have a bad reaction to the product, then your whole face is going to react to it. And as I said, it can just sometimes be there's one ingredient in a product that doesn't agree with you. So if you can pinpoint that, you'll know to avoid that for next time, and you can check on the ingredients list and see if the product that doesn't agree with you is in there, and then you can just avoid that so that you don't have to waste a lot of time and effort. And doing that also saves money down the track too. So the third tip that I have, tip number 3, is to make sure that the products that you're using and buying are matched to your skin type. So if you have dry skin and you're buying products that are supposed to be for oily skin, even if everybody else on Instagram is saying it's their holy grail, it probably will not work out for you. And that's because products that are for a specific skin type are going to be treating the products that people with, the problems that people with that skin type have. Definitely check around, read the labels, see what other people are saying about the product, but I would avoid buying things just because everybody is buying them, even if it seems to be everybody's holy grail. There are going to be products like that, but they won't work for you if you don't have the right skin type for that product. So that's an easy way to save yourself time and money as well. And the fourth one is to not overdo it on the acids. And I don't mean an acid trip, I mean your skincare acids, your AHAs, your BHAs and PHAs. you want to introduce them to your routine really slowly, even though I know they're a massive craze at the moment. Everyone's getting into skincare acids, a lot of people for the first time. The last thing you want to be doing is throwing a full strength acid onto your face and using it every single day. Ask me how I know. It's not a great idea. You want to introduce them slowly, see how your skin responds to them, and then if you're responding well after you've just been using it, say once a week for a couple of weeks, then you move it up to 2 times a week for a couple of weeks. If you're still responding well, then you might be able to bump it up to everyday use. If you actually overdo it on the acids, you can really interfere with your skin's barrier. And once the barrier has been interfered with and the skin's acid mantle has been weakened and damaged, you can cause yourself all types of problems. Anything from acne, bacteria, dry, scaly skin, red, itchiness, like it's not pretty. So if you can avoid that, I would do so at all costs. Just to quickly summarize, my 4 tips are: number 1, to plan your purchases in advance. Number 2 is not to try everything at once. Number 3 is to make sure that you take into account your skin type. And then number 4 is not to overdo it on the acids. I think if you guys remember these 4 really easy tips, you will have a much better reaction, and you'll be able to really nail which products work for you, which are your holy grails, and maybe if there are some that don't work for you, you can get rid of them, give them to someone else, stop using them basically. So I would love to know if you guys have any other tips for mistakes that you made when you were starting out with your Korean beauty routine. Otherwise, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on Style Story.